Okay, so today we're going to start with chapter 22 of trigonometric ratios, and whatever problems I'm going to do, I have referred them from Selena Publishers, class 10th, Concise Mathematics, and this exercise that I'm about to do is exercise 22A. Okay, so all I'm going to do is I'll be doing problems from question number 1 to question number 10, and I'll guide you through the trigonometric ratios topic. Okay, so let's start. So before we start this video, I want you viewers to note down a couple of formulas that I'm about to note on this whiteboard. So the first formula is, pardon. So our first formula is sine theta. Sine theta is equal to perpendicular upon base. Now what do I mean by perpendicular upon base? Perpendicular upon hypotenuse. Pardon. Okay. So sine theta is equal to perpendicular upon hypotenuse. Now I'm going to draw a figure. So once we have drawn a figure, we have labeled it as ABC. So this is known as the perpendicular, this is known as the base, and this is known as a hypotenuse. So a note to the viewers that whatever side is exactly opposite to the 90-degree angle, it is always known as hypotenuse. So if you consider this as hypotenuse or this as hypotenuse, remember that adjacent sides towards the 90-degree are not hypotenuses. Exactly opposite side on the 90 degrees known as hypotenuse. So the first formula that we have learned today, sine theta is equal to perpendicular upon hypotenuse. This is a basic concept. Now our second formula is cos theta. So cos theta is equal to base upon hypotenuse. Okay. Then our third formula is tan theta. Tan theta is equal to perpendicular upon base. So if perpendicular upon base. So even if you have learned all these basic concepts, these basic formulas, it is enough for the ahead formulas or problems that we are to do, because it will help you in future, and it will provide you as a guide. So our fourth formula is, these are the more complex formulas. So our fourth formula is cosecant theta. Now cosecant theta is also known as 1 upon sine theta. 1 upon sine theta means reciprocal of sine theta. So whatever formulas I'm going to display ahead, they are reciprocals of sine theta, cos theta, or tan theta. So whatever formula I'm going to display ahead, our next formula will be secant theta. So secant theta is cos theta's. So cos theta is secant theta's reciprocal. So we'll write it as 1 upon cos theta, which is reciprocal of sine theta. So cosecant theta, if it is a reciprocal of sine theta is perpendicular upon hypotenuse. So if I can say that perpendicular is referred to as P, base is referred to as base, and H is referred to as hypotenuse. So can I say that cosecant theta is the reciprocal of sine theta, that is hypotenuse upon perpendicular? And our secant theta, that is 1 upon cos theta. So our basic formula is 1 cos theta is equal to base upon hypotenuse. So if cos theta is base upon hypotenuse, so therefore secant theta is 1 upon cos theta, that is 1 upon base upon hypotenuse, that is hypotenuse upon base, or simply h upon b. And finally our last formula is cot theta. Cot theta is that tan theta's reciprocal is also known as cot theta. So if tan theta is perpendicular upon base, cot theta is exactly reciprocal of the tan theta formula, that is b upon p, that is base upon perpendicular. Okay, so these are known as the simple ones. These are known as the simple formulas, and these are known as the complex formulas. So I would advise you people to basically learn all these 6 formulas, mainly these 3, because if you have difficulty learning the fourth, fifth, and sixth formulas, don't worry. Reciprocal of sine theta is cosecant theta. Reciprocal of cos theta is secant theta, and reciprocal of tan theta is cot theta. So you could substitute the values and gain our formulas. Okay. So let's move on to our first question. So our first question states that find sine A. Now, whenever we take any triangle, so say for example, I'll draw a triangle. Okay. So once I've drawn a triangle, I will label the figure, that is B, A, and C. Okay. So say for example, in this figure, if they ask you what is sine A. Okay. So sine A, I will assign some examples such as this is 4, this is 3. So according to Pythagoras theorem, 4 whole square plus 3 whole square is equal to 8 square. So 4 whole square is 16, 3 whole square is 9, so 16 plus 9 is 25, and 25's whole root is 5. Okay, so this is the hypotenuse, this is the perpendicular, and this is the base. Okay, so what this question is trying to say is, I'm just taking an example. So if you're getting confused that is this a question or not, I'll just take tan theta or tan A for a more accurate precision. So tan A, if this is the first question given to you, so tan A will be tan A basically means that this angle. And from respect to this angle, tan A is perpendicular upon base, that is 4 upon 3. So this answer will be 4 upon 3. Okay. So this answer will be 4 upon 3, no units. And the second question, say for example, they ask you cos C. Now, whenever we'll go with respect to A, so say for example, it refers to you as cos A. So cos A is with the respect to this angle only, angle A, but cos A basically means base upon hypotenuse. So base upon hypotenuse is 3 upon 5. Then comes sine A. So sine A basically means that A is an angle and sine A means with respect to the angle A, tell me perpendicular upon base. Now this is the base, perpendicular upon hypotenuse, pardon. So this is the hypotenuse, this is the perpendicular. So perpendicular upon base will be 4 upon 5. And as I've told you before, the 90 degree, opposite the side to the 90 degree is always hypotenuse. There should be no confusion in that. Now I'll rub all of this. Okay. Now, the next type of question that comes usually in exercises is, tell me the value of sine C. Now, as I've told you before, that first it would have been sine A. Now, in sine A, the A stands for angle. These alphabets that I've written here, they are just for representing the triangle. So in sine A, say for example, in sine C, this is the angle C. This is the angle C. And what the sine C is trying to tell you, that from the respect of angle C, tell me perpendicular upon hypotenuse. So with respect to C, this looks a little tilted figure. So we'll try to rearrange this figure. Okay, so I've tried to rearrange this figure and I have taken A upward. So this will be A. I've taken B towards here. So this will be B, and C this side. So this will be C. So sine C, basically what it is trying to tell, that the alphabet present here is the angle in the triangle. That is, C is the angle, and sine C is basically telling you that tell me the perpendicular upon hypotenuse. So with respect to sine C, with respect to angle C, tell me the sine. So we'll write down the values first. So AB is 3, BC is 4. Okay. So if you try to think that B is equal to 3 in this figure, B is equal to 3, but here it is perpendicular. So I'll assume this as perpendicular. That is completely right. Okay. So why it is completely right? Because here it was base, but here it was rearranged to form a perpendicular. This is also known as a base because here it was first perpendicular, but it was rearranged to form the base because we had to clear the confusion of the tilting of triangles. So our sine C will be perpendicular upon hypotenuse. So this is our hypotenuse. Hypotenuse will remain the same, and perpendicular upon hypotenuse is 3 upon 5. Then our next question comes that cos C. Tell me the cos C. So cos C basically means that this alphabet over here, it expresses that with respect to the angle C, tell me cos C. Cos C basically means base upon hypotenuse. Base, which was earlier perpendicular, so base upon hypotenuse is equal to 4 upon 5. Okay. And now tan C. So with respect to angle C, tell me tan C. Tan C basically means perpendicular upon base. Okay. So 4 upon 3 will be a final answer. So without further delay, I hope you have understood this. So let's move on to our first question. So our first question is find sine A. Now, whenever it would be that, say, for example, in this question, it says secant C. So there's no need to rearrange this triangle. But here it says sine A, and A is above here. So with respect to angle A, tell me sine A. Sine A is perpendicular upon hypotenuse. Now, before you solve this figure, draw the hypotenuse first. So the Pythagoras theorem, 4 whole square plus 3 whole square is equal to 8 square. So 16 plus 9 is equal to 8 square. That is 25 is equal to 8 square. So if 25 is equal to 8 square, so therefore the square goes to the LHS and root 25 becomes 5 is equal to 8. So we'll write 5 here, and sine A, that is with respect to angle A, tell us a sine, that is perpendicular upon hypotenuse. So we'll try to rearrange the figure. So first we will draw a figure. So say for example, we have drawn a figure, so we'll label. So once we have labeled, we'll substitute our values. That is, this is the base is 4, the perpendicular is 3, and the h is, that is the side perpendicular, the side opposite to the 90-degree is known as the h, that is hypotenuse. So it is asking us, the first question is asking us that find the sine A. So with respect to angle A, tell me sine, that is perpendicular upon hypotenuse. So we'll rearrange the triangle as this. So this is our right angle triangle. So A will be tilted towards here. So this will be A. C is tilted towards there. So this will be C. And B is tilted towards here. So this will be B. Perpendicular becomes base. So the perpendicular becomes base. Base becomes perpendicular. And hypotenuse, that is 5, remains the same. Now we can find our sine A. So our sine A is perpendicular upon hypotenuse, that is 4 upon 5. Our next question states that find cos A. So cos A states that with respect to angle A, find the cos A. Cos A is based upon hypotenuse, so 3 upon 5. Then our third question states that find cot A. Now cot A, as I've said before, cot A is the, tan theta is the reciprocal of cot theta. So cot A will be 1 upon tan A. Now first we'll find tan A. Tan A is perpendicular upon base, so 4 upon 3. So tan A is the reciprocal of cot A. So 4 upon 3 will be 3 upon 4 for cot A. Okay. Now I'll try to clear as much as possible. So I'll clear this figure and we'll move on forward to our fourth question. Now our fourth question states that find the secant C. Secant C is 1 upon cos C. So first we'll find cos C. Now cos C is basically telling you that with respect to angle C, find our base upon hypotenuse. So 1 upon cos C will be 1 upon base upon hypotenuse, that is hypotenuse upon base. So 5 upon 4 will be secant C. Okay. So our fifth question states cosecant C. Cosecant C means 1 upon sine C. So sine C is the reciprocal of cosecant C. So if we find the value for sine C, so sine C is with respect to C, tell me the sine C, that is perpendicular upon hypotenuse, that is 3 upon 5. So cosecant C is the reciprocal of sine C. So if the answer is 3 upon 5, so cosecant C will be 5 upon 3. And the last part of our first question will be that find tan C. Now tan C basically means with respect to the angle C, find me the tan C. So tan C basically means perpendicular upon base. So that is 3 upon 4. Okay. So I'll clear all of this and we'll move on to our next question. That is the second question. So question number 2 states that find cos B. So cos B, here the alphabet means the angle. So with respect to cos B, with respect to angle B, tell me the cos B. Cos B basically means base upon hypotenuse. So we'll try to solve this question by drawing a figure. So I'll note down the question and we'll draw a figure. So in this problem, our figure somehow looks a little tilted. So we'll try to arrange the right angle over here. Okay. So then our triangle looks like this. This is a rough representation. So this is A. Okay. So this is A. This is B. This is C. And AB is 8 without any units and BC is 17. Okay. So according to the Pythagoras theorem, you are to find the. So first of all, we had decided that we'll try to arrange this in a more peculiar fashion, a more straightforward fashion. So we'll try to bring the A here towards the place of C. So this triangle would look like this somehow. So this will be A, C is tilted towards here and B is tilted towards the north. So this will be B. So our AB is 8, our BC is 17. So we have already found out the H, that is the opposite side towards 90 degree. We have already find out the BA, the perpendicular, that is 8, and all we have to do is find the B. Okay. So our first question states that find cos B. Okay. So if we are to find cos B basically means that with respect to B, angle B, tell me cos B, that is base upon hypotenuse. Now here we don't know the base. So we'll try to calculate the base. So by the Pythagoras theorem, so 8 square is equal to P square plus B square. So therefore 17 whole square is equal to 8 whole square plus B whole square. So therefore the formula is 17 whole square minus 8 whole square is equal to B whole square. So therefore, 17 whole square minus 8 whole square is equal to B whole square. So 17 whole square is equal to 289 minus 8 whole square, that is 8 into 8, that is 64, is equal to B whole square. Okay. So 289 minus 64 is equal to 225. Now 225 B square is equal to 225. Therefore, B is equal to whole root 225. That is, B is equal to therefore 15. So our base will be 15. So I'll erase all of this. Hope you have copied down. Okay. Now here, cos B, we have to rearrange the triangle. So cos B will come here towards this side. So rearranging this triangle, we'll get somehow that B comes this side. So this will become B. A will go this side. So A will become here and C goes towards the north. So C will come here and AB is equal to 8. So perpendicular becomes base and base becomes perpendicular. So 15 becomes perpendicular. The hypotenuse remains the same. So cos B, therefore, with respect to angle B, tell us that cos B, that is base upon hypotenuse, 8 upon 17. Our second question states that find tan C. Now tan C we'll look at both of these figures and we'll see which is appropriate. So if it is saying that cos b is here, so we have to bring this down for ease of calculation. So b is here, but if it says tan c is already down. So whatever alphabet is mentioned over here, it always has to be down. It does not have to be up. So if it is up, you have to rearrange it to get down. So here tan C, there's no need to rearrange the triangles. So with respect to angle C, tell us tan C, that is base perpendicular upon base. That is 8 upon 15. Our third question states that tell us sine square B plus cos square B. Okay. This sounds a little confusing, but don't worry. I'll teach you everything. So the third part states that tell us the sine square B plus cos square B. All we have to do is draw our two figures that we had drawn here. We have to draw this figure and this figure. So once we have drawn our two figures, this is the first figure and this is the second figure. So sine square B. So sine B, first of all, we have to find sine B. So out of these two figures, we have to find which angle is towards the ground. So in this figure, the angle B is towards the ground, and in this figure, angle C is towards the ground. So sine B basically says that what B should be to the ground. So B is towards the ground, and with respect to angle B, tell us sine B, that is perpendicular upon hypotenuse. So 15 upon 17. Now, once we have found out sine B, sine square B basically means 15 upon 17 whole square plus cos square B. So cos B, so it basically says that this alphabet should be on the ground. Now we'll look at these two figures, and out of these two figures, in this figure, B is towards the ground. So according to this angle B, find cos B, that is base upon hypotenuse. So here base is 8, hypotenuse is 17, so 8 upon 17 will be our answer. So cos square B basically means that 8 upon 17 whole square. No need to write the alphabets. So 15 upon 17 whole square basically means 15 square upon 17 square. 15 square basically means 225, 17 square means 289, plus 8 upon 17 whole square, 8 square upon 17 square. So 8 square is equal to 64 upon 17 into 17, that is 289. So 225 plus 64. So we will check that if our bases in the both fractions are same. If it is different, we'll find the LCM. If it is same, no need to. So here it is same. So we'll write our base as 289, not about the triangle, only in this fraction. So our denominator is 289 and 225 plus 64 is 289. So 289 divided by 289 is 1. So the answer to our third question of the second question is 1. Okay, so we'll move on to our next question. That is the fourth one of the third question. So we will draw. So here it states that sine B is sine B into cos C plus cos B into sine C. So this sounds a mouthful. So first we write the question. Sine B dot basically means into cos C plus cos B sine C. Now all we have to do is we have to solve these figures again, both of these figures again, first one and the second one. So we'll do that. So once we have drawn our first figure and second figure in which the angle B is to the ground, and in the second figure the angle C is towards the ground, it says sine B. So our sine B states that with respect to angle B, tell us perpendicular upon hypotenuse. So in the first figure, perpendicular upon hypotenuse is 15 upon 17. Dot basically means into. So cos C into, most people write it as here, but it differentiates. I want to add the third line because so that it can differentiate between an into sign and x. So this is my style of writing into. So into cos C. So basically out of these two figures, cos C basically states that the angle C should be to the ground. So in this figure, the angle C is to the ground. Okay, check. And it basically states that with respect to angle C, tell us cos C. So cos C basically means base upon hypotenuse. So here it means 15 upon 17. Okay. Plus. So whenever plus comes, we'll add this in brackets because we have to find more values. So for simplifying it, we'll add a bracket. Plus, we'll add one more bracket. So cos B. Cos B basically means that this alphabet should be to the ground. So in the first figure, angle B is to the ground. And with respect to angle B, tell us cos B. Cos B basically means base upon hypotenuse. So here, base is 8, 17 is hypotenuse. So 8 upon 17 into my style of writing multiplication sine C. So C basically with respect to angle C, sine C basically tells us that alphabet C, angle C is should be to the ground. So sine C basically means that with respect to angle C, tell us sine C. Sine C basically means perpendicular upon hypotenuse. So in this figure, 8 is base. Here it is 8 is P. That is perpendicular. So perpendicular upon hypotenuse is equal to 8 upon 17. So 15 into 15 is 225. It is just like a last sum in the third part of the third question. So it's the same process. 8 into 8 is 64 upon 289, which is equal to 289 upon 289, which is equal to 1. So our third question is done. Pardon, our second question is done. So the fourth part of the second question is done, and we'll move on to the next question. So in the third question, it states that find cos A. So with respect to angle A, find cos A. That is, cos A basically means that with respect to angle A, find base upon hypotenuse. So here base is given, hypotenuse is not given, but perpendicular is given. So we'll find the hypotenuse by 4 whole square plus 3 whole square is equal to 8 square. So the answer will be 5. So cos A basically means 3 upon 5, base upon 5, base upon hypotenuse. So our cos A will be 3 upon 5. This is the first question. The second question states cosecant A. So sine theta is the reciprocal of cosecant theta. So therefore, we have to first find sine A. So sine A basically means that with respect that the angle A should be to the ground, and with respect to angle A, find sine A. So that means perpendicular upon hypotenuse, that is 4 upon 5, and cosecant A is the reciprocal of sine theta, sine A. So sine A is 4 upon 5, so our cosecant A will be 5 upon 4. Tan square A minus secant square A. Okay, so let's solve this to the big whiteboard screen. So the third part of the third question. All we have to do is draw a figure. Okay, so we'll try to do tan square A minus secant square A here. So this is the third part of the third question. Don't confuse it with the last time that I made the mistake of telling that the third part of the second question is the third part of the third question. So don't compare that mistake with this. So the third part of the third question basically states tan square A minus secant square A. So first we'll find tan A. So tan A basically says that A should be to the ground, angle A, and with respect to angle A, tell us that tan A. Tan A basically means perpendicular upon base. So this is the perpendicular, this is the base, so that is 4 upon 3. So tan square A basically means that 4 upon 3 whole square. No need to write the alphabet. Minus secant square A. So secant square A. So secant theta, that is cos theta, is the reciprocal of secant theta. So first we'll find the cos. So for solving secant A, first we'll try to solve cos A. So cos A means that the alphabet A should be to the ground, and cos A basically states that with respect to A, tell us cos A, that is base upon hypotenuse. So base upon hypotenuse is 3 upon 5, and secant, so that will be the answer Cos A is equal to 3 upon 5. Okay, I'll just write it here. Cos A will be 3 upon 5. Now it is asking secant square A. Then cos A is the reciprocal of secant A. So secant A therefore will be equal to reciprocal of cos A, that is 5 upon 3. And secant square A states 5 upon 3 whole square. As simple as that. So I'll make some space. So 4 upon 3 whole square basically states 4 square upon 3 square, that is 16 upon 9, minus 5 upon 3 whole square, that is 5 square upon 3 square, that is 25 upon 9. Okay, so 25 minus 16 is 9, so 9 upon 9 is equal to 1. Okay, so in this question basically if 25 upon 9 was here, it would have been positive, but 25 is negative. This is the negative, and of course this is 25 is bigger than 16, so therefore the answer will be minus 9 upon 9, that is minus 1. Okay, so this is the answer to the third part of the third question, tan square A minus secant square A. Now the fourth question, sin C. So sin C basically means that C, the alphabet C should be to the ground, so we'll have to rearrange the figure, but luckily they have drawn another figure here and C is to the ground. C is towards the ground with respect to the ground, so there's no need to rearrange the figure. So sin C basically means with the respect to angle C, tell us sin C. Sin C basically means perpendicular upon hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is already given to us, that is 12, so the answer will be 4 upon 12, that is 1 upon 3. No units required. Secant C. So secant C basically means 1 upon cos C. We'll first find cos C. So C, alphabet C should be to the ground. With respect to angle C, tell us cos C. Cos C basically means base upon hypotenuse. Here we don't have base. So if we don't have base, we shall find our base, that is 8 root 2. With the help of our Pythagoras theorem, we'll find h whole square minus p whole square is equal to b whole square. So by that formula we'll find the base. So I'll make some space. Okay, so once you have drawn some space, so cos C is equal to, with respect to angle C, tell us cos C, that is base upon hypotenuse, so that will be 8 root 2 upon 12. So 8 root 2 upon 12 will be 8 12 will be 2 upon 3. So the answer will be 2 root 2 upon 3. So I'll scroll down a bit. I'll make some more space. And the answer will be 2 root 2 upon 3. This will be a final answer. Now our final answer basically states that we have to find secant C. So secant C is the reciprocal of cos C. So whatever answer we get as cos C will be the reciprocal to find secant C. So secant C will be a reciprocal of this answer, that is 3 upon 2 root 2. So we have solved the fifth question, fourth question, third question, fourth question and second question. Okay, so before we move on to our sixth question, I just want to recapture whatever calculations we have done. So I know this is a little boring and we have wasted too much time, but I'll go on. So our first question's answer was 3 by 5 cos A. Then came cosecant A, whose answer we have calculated as 5 upon 4. Then came our fourth question, whose answer was 4 upon 12, and we simplified it further, which is 1 upon 3. And the fifth question, that was 3 upon 2 root 2, and reciprocal of secant C is cos C. So our cos C was 2 root 2 upon 2. And finally we come to our sixth question. Okay, so I'll try to make some space. Okay, so our sixth question states that cot square C minus 1 upon sin square C. Cot square C minus 1 upon sin square C, we can further simplify it to cot square C minus, okay, so cot square C minus 1 upon sine square c. Sine square c can also be written as cosecant square c. If you have memorized, only and only if you have memorized those formulas which I displayed earlier thoroughly, because they might help you, they will help you in this chapter, trigonometric ratios, and in the whole branch of trigonometry. So cot square c can be written as 1 upon tan square c minus cos secant square c, as we have written here 1 upon sine square c. We have simplified it. Now we'll find tan c. So tan c basically means that the alphabet c should be to the ground, and with respect to angle c, find tan c. So tan c basically means perpendicular upon base. So perpendicular upon base, that is 4 upon 8 root 2, that is 1 upon 2 root 2. So our tan c is 1 upon 2 root 2. So therefore our tan square c will be 1 upon 2 root 2 whole square minus 1 upon sine square c. So all we have to do is find sine c first. So sine c basically means alphabet c should be to the ground. We will find our angle with respect to the angle c. We shall find sine square c. We shall find sine c, pardon. So sine c basically means perpendicular upon hypotenuse. So perpendicular upon hypotenuse will be 4 upon 12, that is 1 upon 3. So sine square c will be 1 upon 3 whole square. So this we'll simplify it to. So 1 upon 2 root 2 whole square will be 1 upon 8 minus 1 upon 3 whole square will be 1 upon 9. I know this sounds a mouthful. Just go through the video again, go more slowly, and you'll understand the logic. So 1 upon 8 can also be written as 8 minus 1 upon 9 can also be written as 9. So 8 minus 9 is equal to minus 1. So the answer to the sixth part of the third question will be minus 1. Okay, so a note to the viewers that the rest of the question, that is from 4th question to the 12th question, I'll be doing to the video part B of this same exercise. So please do watch my part B video. This is the part A video. I'll be releasing the part B video soon. Take care, stay home, stay safe, and bye, and we'll meet in the next video.